Alright, are we ready for this last comedian of the night? I'm actually really excited about this one. I won't lie. I asked him to be on like all of my lineups, and then like he's always like no, but then I'm like no, there's this really small one where like maybe 10 people are gonna show up, and he's like that's the one. I want to go on that one, please. I'm like shit, man. This is like a month long of text messages, and he just wants this one. So I don't know why. He might have an extra motive for this one. But he is actually one of the funniest people that I've seen on stage, so please put your hands together for Socrates!
Thanks so much, get over here! Yeah. This was the night, that's all I'm saying. I was looking forward to this for many, many years. And we've already established that 33 is old. Sorry. I'm 57. Which is 75 in Dutch. It's always nice to hear people ragging about being old when it's like, ooh, I was in college. Yeah, it's not the same kind of concept. And also, as far as like, how big is my dick? Well, my favorite one of those Dutch words, Dutch words is like pibbeltje. Because a pimmel is a little dick, and a pimmeltje is a little tiny dick. So like an pimmeltje is like an incredibly little tiny dick, It's just like the Dutch love their weird languagey culture thing. I love that about the Netherlands. It's a strange language like this thing. It's the word nitpicking, to be obsessed with the little details, which in Dutch is ant fucking. It's mierennoken. Yeah, so if you've got a little pimmeltje, you can spend your day mierennoken and get things done at the same time. Yeah, a lot of weird Dutch phrases and such. I recently learned the singing before the church out. I think is that right? So singing before the church is empty, something. Basically, it means it's a sex thing again because they all are. It's a man he pulls out before he comes. Right? That's what that means. Yeah, weird, huh? These are Dutch sayings. This is their culture. Hey, I'm an American. I don't have a culture, so I like it a lot. It's like somebody asked me the difference between America and here. It's like in America, we need to come up with a word for mass shootings. Well, we didn't know how to describe the things. You know what I mean? Well, how many? Well, if there's more than 4, it's a mass shooting. We've defined these things. The Dutch have a word, gezellig. Which, if you don't know, it's this wonderful warm evening that you can do as a group. Like you find a nice little cafe somewhere, maybe downtown Delft. You get together and a bunch of comics do a bit of an echoey set. And it's very gezellig. That's what this whole thing is tonight. This is a gezellig album, I think. Anybody else think so? For fun, And if one person pulls out a gun and shoots somebody else, it's ungezellig. It's completely... It's a whole other thing. Because that's when the app come out the mouth. Another great saying is when the monkey comes out the sleeve. Yeah, some of these things, when you hear what they mean, it doesn't help in any way, shape, or form. It's like one of my favorite sayings of all is, of course, helas pindakaas, which if you don't know, it means, oh well, peanut butter. Did that help? Do you know how to use that one in context? No. If I was to make a little bit of it, it's like an oopsie doopsie kind of thing, or like, I guess in American it's like, welcome to Loserville, population U. I've been trying to, somebody asked me how would you define that in American, it's like, I don't know, you really can't. It's just, oh well, peanut butter, and it rhymes. People love a good, everything about Dutch is rhyming, you know what I mean? My favorite Dutch phrase or whatnot is, again, back to sex because they're Dutch, it's noken in de koken. You know this one? It means fucking in the kitchen. If you're nothing else, you learn the word noken. Mieden noken, noken in de koken. It's all over. That's literally their words. What is the use of noken in de koken? I don't know. I've asked. I have no idea how to use noken in de koken in context. I've mentioned it to a lot of audience. No one's ever said, use it this way. On Tinder. But as far as I can tell, if you combine Noken and Koken with Helaas and Pindakaas, you end up with satay sauce. The Netherlands, I came for the food. I'm staying for the weather. Anybody else lived here for long enough to remember when we had cold? Remember like a couple years, like in 2012 or something like 2013? It was like there was no summer whatsoever. Freezing cold the whole year. I was like, it's June, I was still wearing my jackets and things. Now it's 30 degrees in the summertime here. ExxonMobil, woo! Look, if no good can come from global warming, what's the point of the whole thing? At least we have better weather. I'm Greek. Greece is on fire. We have different seasons. Like I came from Florida from here and to here. And in Florida we have like hurricane season, which is way different than summer. Hurricane season is like you look at the weather and you hope not. Please, not here. It's like Katrina came the year after we had 3 hurricanes. We were all going, not here. And I went to Louisiana and we were like, sorry. Hey, we got ours last time, you know what I mean? I had 3 cross my house. And so we get rain here, and it's not exactly rain in my opinion because, you can't hardly see it. In Florida, you can see the rain. It's like white. It's racist. But like another one of my favorite Dutch words is for that little rain that you feel in your face, it's like, it's miser, because it makes you miserable. You'll know it when you feel it, like, that's the one. Because it's not that bad enough to complain about, you know what I mean? It's like your life is a stand-up comic. You can't complain, I didn't get paid. No one cares. You went to a bar, didn't you? Yeah, well, they gave you a free drink. Yeah, well, it was miserable. But I've been living here 14 years, and I've been going to the arc of life. You guys are still in that early fun part of the arc. That's when it gets better. Then there's that middle part where it's sort of like, you know what's going on. And then unfortunately, there's a downward end at the end of it. I didn't know it happened. Somewhere in your 50s, apparently, and that's the part you hear the noise. That's us screaming on the way down. Not quite a boomer, actually. It's the worst thing about being almost a boomer when you think about it. It's like the baby boom was like 2 years before me. I'm the guy who was first in line behind all the boomers. When I was 18, I was like, so this is just going to suck for my whole life. Like, yeah, enjoy it. But I made it to Amsterdam. I've been here 14 years. It was one of my dreams. For 20 years, I listened to this little voice in my head and said, I want to live in Amsterdam. I want to live in Amsterdam. So if I moved to Amsterdam, will you shut up? I said, yes. And it did. It's been happy ever since. Every time I go outside, I'm like, woo. Of course, I'm here in Delft, and it's like, don't talk about Amsterdam. People outside of Amsterdam don't realize, we don't live in a country called Delft, by the way. If you ask an American, what's this place called? It's called Amsterdam. It's like the country of Africa. We're not good at geography. I did an English pub quiz last night, actually, and there was a question of where is Machu Picchu? And the incorrect answer said Mexico. I had no idea. I was like, sure, Mexico, why not? Anybody know why that's not right? Because it's Peru. That's why. And the people who were trying to get the pub quiz, they kind of cared. So again, I was learning my Dutch. Dutch is a great little weird language. And 14 years ago, not 14 years ago, but a year and a half ago, I learned this Dutch word I didn't want to learn, but I was forced to. And that word was aangereden. If you don't know, it means to be slammed into. Because I was aangereden door the scooter klotser. Because I got slammed into by this asshole on a scooter. And he leaned over and said, "You've been aangereden by a scooter klotser." I said, oh, maybe I could call 112. Because don't call 911. It's completely useless in any way, shape, or form here. And I realized, basically, he slammed into me around this corner because there was a car driving on the bike path, and then there was this scooter on the bike path, and everybody was wrong because it's called a fietspath, but it's not for your feet. It's for a bicycle. And I couldn't explain this to these people in time because I didn't have time, because all I could say was, ah! And I went flying through the air like a bird, but I landed like an octopus. And I kind of broke half of my arm. And ended up with a little bit of tattoo work here. It's just line work, but it's still art. And I called 112, the ambulance, and I told them where I was, which was not easy because I had been riding my bike, and I said, I'm here. He said, where's that? I said, I don't fucking know. And he asked me basically, are you going to pass out? And I said, no, I don't think so. So he told me to take a taxi. I said, hang on a second, I'm getting dizzy. I think I might pass out. He said, we'll send an ambulance. You got to know what to say at the right moment. It's all about living in the moment. And one of the differences when the ambulance came, he had fentanyl. You have to know the taxi ahead of time to have him bring you fentanyl. But the ambulance, he had it with him. And he said, in fact, he asked me, would you like some fentanyl? And as an American, I said no. I literally did. I said no. You know, short streak to a heroin addiction. Don't tease me, just give me the heroin. But then I realized that, you know, my shoulder said, you should probably take this drugs. And he gave me the shot. He put a shot in my arm and he gave me saline solution. I went, I felt so much better. He said, now I'm going to give you the fentanyl. And he gave me the fentanyl. It had no effect whatsoever. But the saline was very effective. And I got to the hospital and she asked me, would you like a shot of morphine? And I said, yes. Take a shot. I don't know, anybody ever had morphine here? Anybody? Did you have it? It's a great drug, right? Were you hurt when you had it?
Yeah.
You know, it's best if you're hurt when you had it. It balances out. Morphine is like a warm hug on a cold night. It's like when you're a little kid and your dad comes up with a giant coat and says, sleep easy. It's a wonderful thing. Because she looked at my x-ray and did the thing that you don't want a doctor to do. She went, And I saw the x-ray. I said, is that me? She said, winner, chicken dinner. And they treated me with conservative treatment. Do you know what this is? It's nothing. Literally nothing. They gave me this blue strap. I don't know if you've seen these blue straps. You'll see people walking around. It's a strap. It's blue. It's modern because it's got Velcro in it. And they sent me home with the word, it comes good. This is something that doctors and therapists and even my butcher, my Socrates, he told me it comes good too. But the guy knows bones, so I felt more confident in his opinion. And they sent me home and they literally told me they were worried I'd end up with a frozen shoulder. As if a broken shoulder wasn't a big deal. God forbid I had a frozen one. I heard it was a good movie. I never saw it. And they told me to keep exercising my shoulder because I could only raise it about so high, and they really told me I should move it up and like do this a lot. So I was in my house doing this all the time, trying to keep my arm getting frozen. Getting a really bad vibe from all my neighbors. I'm hurt, guys, you know. I was in Enschede the other day, which is right next to Germany, and they all understood that situation way better than they really should have. And I went back to my doctor and said, hey, doc, it's not coming good. I have arm erectile dysfunction. The first step to coming good is getting it up, and it's not going there. And that's when he told me, hey, listen, pay the cash. And about 8 months passed, actually. I finally have surgery with 8 painful months, and they do this surgery finally on me. I had 12 screws put in, a bone from a dead guy. I don't know who he was. I didn't kill him. I couldn't have. I was really, really in bad shape. But they also took some bone marrow out of my knee and some bone from my knee and such, so I couldn't walk for 6 months. And the Dutch have a term for this as well, which is... If you haven't heard it, you will if you hear it long enough. It's like a sarcastic sigh, you know. It's like when you miss your train. It's a bit of, you see the guy get hit by the train, going, always me. And basically, I had this fun-filled surgery, and I can't walk anymore. And 4 months later, I got the worst word told to me, many worse than all these other words, which was, it's necrotic. You know if you know the word necrotic? It means it was dying. Yeah. So they showed me a picture of my shoulder. It was all weird looking. All the screws were sticking out. It was hurting even more. So it was even more fun. And so 4 months after that, I had to get another surgery. And now I have a reverse prosthetic shoulder. So where I used to have a ball, now I have a socket. Where I used to have a socket, now I have a ball. So it's possible I have a trans shoulder. And you know, you think to yourself, you know, life is good, it's bad. How hard could it be? How bad could it get? You know, what else could happen to you? Well, it's getting a little bit better. And on in August 15th, I'll remember the date. I had me a stroke. Yeah. Appreciate that. That was my reaction too. I was really freaking surprised. Because the day started surprising as well, because it was really hot and sunny. And it was in August, so it wasn't that surprising in some ways. But this is the Netherlands, and we don't have hot sunny days. So I got all excited. Went outside, had me a little stroke. But the good kind, the fun kind, the kind that makes you sleepy afterwards. So I took me a nap. An hour later, I woke up and I had a big stroke, a bad stroke, the kind you don't want. And the one thing I definitely learned that day is a day with a stroke is not nearly as nice as a day with a stroke and an orgasm. Look, you find the little things wherever you can get it, you know? So it's like each time I end up injuring myself or having this phase, I figured that this is like a new version of me, like, you know, my name is Socrates, you know, then it's like after the surgery I was like new Socrates. And then I was yet another Socrates after the neck surgery, and now after the stroke I guess I'm Strokates. Or stroke. I've been trying to figure out how I can phrase that one into a word. And the beauty is I keep forgetting to do the joke, so it's like, you know, I go off, oh yeah, I forgot the other guy. But I've been finding this is an incredible journey in its way, you know what I mean? It's like tonight was this wonderful night. We started off, we didn't know where we were going to go, you know what I mean? In the middle there we had all sorts of fun funds. And we're getting towards the end of the thing. And I just want to leave you with my advice, because I know that you come to comedy to see people who are well-adjusted, happy, and you can give good advice. And from someone screaming down the hill, I'll tell you that one of the most important things in life is to maintain a work and life balance, which is hard as a comedian. But as a normal person, you want to maintain this work and life balance, and one of the most important things is to never ever bring your work home with you, which is like doubly important if you're a kindergarten teacher. We'll try. I trusted on this one, it's experience. Fool me once. But the other thing basically is that I was told that when I started doing comedy a couple of years ago that, you know, comedy is a lot like sex, and the more I do it, the more I think that's true. Because I was really excited about coming here tonight. Now that I came, I'm a little hot, a little sweaty. But if I get my energy back, I'm going to come again soon. Thanks for giving up.